Have you ever paused to hear the echoes from the past? The echoes of souls who once illuminated the world, only to be extinguished by that very world? Why did Socrates willingly drink the poison when his intellectual light eclipsed outdated notions? Why was Jesus, the sower of love and compassion, nailed to a cross? And why was Joan of Arc, a 19-year-old girl with a pure heart who saved an entire nation from the brink of oblivion, burned alive at the stake? These aren't just mere historical questions. They are questions for humanity, haunting inquiries about truth, about light, and about the eternal tragedy of souls who dare to live differently. We ask these questions because they touch a shared pain, a painful truth that still lingers in our own time. Part 1: A Light Too Bright for Blinded Eyes. Joan of Arc was no ordinary military commander. She appeared as a strange, pure light, shining into a world consumed by the darkness of brutal war, power ambition, and pervasive fear. Her victories on the battlefield didn't come from military cunning or political maneuvering. They came from an unshakable, pure faith, from an inherent purity that could not be tainted. That light, however beautiful, became a threat. When you live too truly, too purely, too honestly in a world full of calculations and deceit, you become a target. Joan wasn't killed because she was wrong. She was killed because she was too real, too authentic, too extraordinary to the point where no one could control or manipulate her. She feared neither the king, the highest authority. She feared neither the clergy, those representing divine power. And she certainly didn't fear the enemy, those bearing weapons and a will to destroy. She only lived by her inner calling, a voice more powerful than any external authority. And it was this absolute freedom that became a dagger plunged into the world's weakness, a world that couldn't tolerate such a strong and free soul. Part 2: The Sentence for an Unyielding Idea. When Joan was captured, what transpired was not a fair trial. It was a play orchestrated to judge an idea. They didn't want to destroy a person of flesh and blood. They aimed to extinguish a thought, a symbol, the idea that an uneducated woman of no social standing could directly converse with the divine, a privilege the church monopolized. The idea that a soul without worldly power could alter the destiny of an entire dynasty, an entire nation, and the most dangerous idea of all, a person who dared to fully listen to her inner voice, who dared to live authentically, could awaken millions of other souls dormant in fear and convention. They accused her of wearing men's clothes, a forbidden act. They accused her of heresy for claiming divine commands, an insult to the church's authority. They accused her of insubordination for refusing to bow to the court, a challenge to state power. But these were all flimsy pretexts. The deepest truth was their fear of the light within her, a pure light that couldn't be controlled, couldn't be manipulated, couldn't be extinguished by any lie or force. And like countless other pure lights throughout human history, Joan was pushed to the stake, a sentence not to punish guilt, but to eradicate a symbol of freedom and truth. Part 3: The Fire That Could Not Consume an Immortal Soul. Joan was burned, her body dissolved into nothingness, but that earthly fire, however fierce, could not touch her soul. Because, you see, a soul cannot be burned. A truth can never be buried. As the cruel flames licked at her body, Joan did not scream in pain, nor did she beg for mercy. She only whispered a single name: Jesus. And at that very moment, something miraculous happened. The soldiers standing below the pyre, those who directly witnessed the horrific scene, wept. The executioner was filled with remorse and fear. The people knelt in prayer, sensing the presence of something sacred. Joan's holiness, her purity, blazed brightest. In the very moment her physical form vanished into the void, becoming immortal. She did not die in failure, but in the glory of a soul that had lived completely true to its essence. A message for awakened souls. Joan was killed, not because she failed, but because she was a soul too powerful, too pure for the society of her time to accept. And the most heartbreaking truth? She wasn't killed by her enemies, by strangers. but by the very people for whom she sacrificed her youth and her life. Joan's story is a profound reminder, a beacon for souls like you and me, those who are beginning to see the true light in a world still full of obscurity, fear, and falsehood. If you feel your heart stir, a familiar sensation rising within you as you hear this story, then it's not just a common emotion. It's your soul remembering the truth, remembering its own pure, courageous, and free nature. Please like, subscribe, and share this video so that Joan's fire, the fire of truth and courage, may never be extinguished, and so that each of us, each soul, can bravely live our truth, even if the whole world misunderstands us.